Oh, hello, cute conservatives, or should I say travelers, the fellow travelers. Welcome to the first POPlitics Live of September. Trisha Paytas is actually the queen of September right now. Play clip.
What say you, traveler? Change the season, is it? Oh, I know it's autumn out there. My hair, it changed the shade of pink. They don't call me pumpkin for nothing. What can I get you, traveler?
What can I get you, traveler? I wish to God that I could do any sort of cool accent like her. I mean, she's got like 7 going on at once right there. I know it's like Scottish, a little Australian, a little Old English. Did I say Scottish? What's the difference between Scottish and Irish? Is that racist? Don't answer that. 2 totally different countries. All right, sorry. Canceled within the first 10 seconds. Drink of choice today. I did do a Starbucks run. Let me just run you down the only correct drink that you can get at Starbucks on a, 108-degree day like it is today for me in Phoenix. This is a grande strawberry acai refresher, apple juice instead of water, extra ice, and no strawberry bits. If you're getting strawberry bits in your strawberry acai refresher, you're like disgusting. A peasant behavior. Could not be me. An extra ice, although they kind of didn't do a great job on that. And I did get 2 vanilla bean scones that I already scarfed down. So, it is what it is. And it isn't what it isn't. Trisha Paytas, by the way, those videos she keeps putting out of her being like a bar wench or whatever, I don't know why. Nobody knows why she does anything that she does. But I will say this. All of those videos are literally just me in the bathroom every night, taking my makeup off and like trying to freak myself out with different characters I can create in the mirror, just, when I'm by myself. All right. I'm Alex Clark. This is POPlitics, the first ever conservative pop culture show. It was free-birthed, medication-free from my own vagine in 2019. If you're here, I almost certainly like you. If you're not here, I almost certainly don't, because it takes a very special brand of unhinged to enjoy these live shows. This isn't like a regular show. This isn't a regular live stream. It's a cool live stream. And those of you who are here are thumbsing up the video right now. I already know. The A+ students have already done so. Now, put your hand on the thumb. Put your hand on the thumbs up. Subscribe for tan skin and a fast metabolism. Thank you. All right. Totally unhinged today. Crackhead Alex energy, which is fitting because we're going to be talking about the crackhead who banged Barack Obama. This week, the pop culture gods have really blessed us with a juicy story. The divorce of Joe Jonas and Sophie Turner. And the details are really just getting weirder and weirder as the minutes go by. The internet is really split on who they believe is more at fault, him or her. So I have a lot of this. It's very bizarre. A lot of the information just totally contradicts everything we've known about this couple historically. So that's very interesting. We're also getting into this viral video of the childless, unmarried 29-year-old woman that, rightoids on Twitter have just absolutely lit up. She's just been reamed by conservative Twitter. And, as a 30-year-old unmarried, childless woman, I believe I have the authority to speak on this, truly. And I think people should listen to what I have to say. Briefly, I want to touch on the Burning Man disaster and, if Burning Man is something that I would ever want to attend in the future. And then we're going to wrap with Obama being outed as one of damn homosexuals. He's a homo sapien homosexual. And trust me, my take on this is not what you're expecting. You're going to want to stick around for that. Corinne, Brooke, Angie, Colleen, Sarah Claire, Alexa, Royal. Hello, everyone. Sloan. Sloan, one of my absolute favorite names for a girl ever. Brittany is here. Beth finally showed up. Where have you been, Beth? Kate. Thank you for showing up. Another Kate. Kate with an I, Kate with an E, Amanda, Nicole, somebody named Chow. Imagine that. I hope that is your real name, just for your sake, because it's way too cool. Angelina Ballerina is here. Faith is here. She's got no headphones, so she said keep it down. Sorry, I cannot be getting people in trouble. Aren't you? You're supposed to go act like you're taking a really long poop at work when you watch this. Isn't that the rule? All right, let's get right into it. Joe Jonas and Sophie Turner's divorce. It is so Jover. It's Jover. 2023. It's the year of the Joes. First Taylor Swift and Joe Alwyn, then Sofia Vergara and Joe Mungie Jungie. I don't know how to say his last name. Now Sophie Turner and Joe Jonas. The Joes have officially been put on notice. Joe Biden, we're looking at you.
Are we moving?
Joe Biden, wake up.
Joe Biden, wake up. Sophie Turner and Joe Jonas released a joint statement this morning about their divorce after 4 wonderful years of marriage. Was it wonderful? Because you're getting a divorce. We have mutually decided to amicably end our marriage. There are many speculative narratives as to why, but truly this is a united decision, and we sincerely hope that everyone can respect our wishes for privacy for us and our children. A source actually told People that Joe Jonas and Sophie Turner spent the entire summer apart from each other. They say they were not separated, but they have been living separate lives for months. They haven't gotten along in a while. They were hoping that they were going to resolve everything amicably. Clearly, that hasn't happened. Now, I know that they were living in Miami, but they actually just sold their house a few weeks ago. And when this story dropped, that was the first thing I thought. I was like, wait a minute, I just remember seeing an article like a week ago about how they just sold their $15 million waterfront Miami home. Love the way they decorate. This is an Architectural Digest article here. You can see the inside, the kitchen. Now, I am not lately into bright colors in the house with home decor, but if you scroll down, there is a kitchen photo that's got like lime green chairs and things. Keep scrolling, keep scrolling, keep scrolling, keep scrolling, go down there. This picture, lime green dining chairs, but there's still like a dark ambiance to it. They're utilizing wallpaper. I am a huge fan of wallpaper. Wallpaper is making a huge comeback in interior design. I would like to believe that I, am solely responsible for this. Wink, wink, nod, nod, just joking. I mean, I wish I could take credit for that, but like nobody knows who I am. But I am a huge fan of wallpaper. So they have a very beautiful house. And I guess, so they were living in Miami. They just sold this in early August. Clearly, they have known for at least a month that this divorce was coming. Like I don't believe that Joe and Sophie decided to sell their house like willy-nilly and then, and now we're getting divorced. Like, no. Like, they've known, for a minute. Because I think a lot of people think, like, out of nowhere in the last week, he decided he wants to file for divorce. I don't think that's what's been going on. They bought the house in 2021. So, yeah, they were only living there for 2 years. So you're going to tell me that you buy a $15 million waterfront home, you do all that to it, and then in 2 years' time, without a divorce coming, you're like, yeah, we're done with this place? Nah. It's been reported that they do have an ironclad prenup in place, of course. This is what I'm interested in. Today, it broke that a source told TMZ Joe heard and saw something on their Ring camera that made him realize that their marriage was over and it was the last straw. So I'm like, and it said like it was either he heard or saw something. It was like they couldn't tell you exactly what. Like he heard and or saw something that made him realize this is my last straw and now my marriage is officially over. And I'm like, well, what could that be? Like what could happen on a Ring camera that makes a guy react that way? The only logical reason I can come up with is she let one rip. Sophie Turner farted on their front porch right in the speaker box of the Ring doorbell. He got a notification on his phone. Hello, somebody's at your front door. Oh, who is it? Oh, it's my lovely wife. Open it up. It's over. And then he knew it was done. That's what I'm convinced happened. That's what I'm convinced happened. Because girls don't poop or fart, and so that just has to be, I mean, whatever. All right. Did she fart? Did she fart? I want you guys to start this rumor on social media that she farted in the Ring doorbell camera, and that's why Joe Jonas asked for a divorce. Please start that rumor, and then I want all of the speculation to funnel back to this live, and I reap all of the benefits of the views. She has also been accused of wanting to give up her duties as a mom to party, and that she never wanted to be home. That lately in their marriage, she was like, I don't want to be home. I want to be anywhere but here. I want vodka pouring into my mouth from complete strangers. I want to rent an Airbnb and host an orgy. I don't know. This is what they're saying online. This is what they're speculating. And allegedly, Joe has been taking care of their 2 kids, a 3 and 1-year-old, by himself for the last few months while he's on tour. He is on tour. They have a 3 and a 1-year-old. I mean, the other brothers are married. Their wives, are bucking up and they're taking care of their kids. Where has Sophie been? This is what somebody wants us to believe, that she has suddenly become a deadbeat mother. She's not fulfilling her duties. She likes to party. He likes to stay home, allegedly. They have very different lifestyles, a source told TMZ Tuesday. Who is the source? Is it his friends? But here's what's weird. And this is what I mean, the whole divorce. It's like everything that's coming out, it's very anti-Sophie, right? Everything's very anti-Sophie. Everything that's coming out is very contradictory to everything that we have been told about this couple. So here's what I want to bring up. They have drilled it into us over the last several years that Sophie is a homebody and he never wants to be home. She said in an interview, I'm an introvert. I'm a homebody. This is Sophie Turner, people. I'm an introvert. I'm a homebody. If I could stay at home all day, I would. So this was during the pandemic. She did this interview. She said, this is great for me. I love the pandemic. Anthony Fauci, she said, I leave my house like once a day anyway to walk my dogs, and that's it. So here she is during the pandemic a few short years ago saying, the pandemic is great because this isn't a lifestyle change. I already never leave. The only time I leave my house is to walk the dog. So now you want us to believe that somehow this summer and the last few months, she became a radical, a feminist and was like, I got to sow my wild oats. I want to party like a 21-year-old. I want to abandon my children and, go out to the clubs. Every past interview that they have done, they talked about how she would stay up all night playing every past interview they have done recently, they talked about how he would stay up all night playing video games while she slept. And that during the pandemic, he is such a partier and an extrovert that the pandemic felt like a prison for him to have to stay home all day with his family. I'm sensing a big narrative shift. And by the way, I'm not like a Joe Bro apologist. I've never, first of all, fun fact about me, might be a red flag about me. I've never been like a boy band girly. I am always here for the girls. I am a girl singer through and through. John Mayer is my exception. I know that's wild as a Taylor Swift fan, but I've always liked John Mayer as a musician, but musician, yes. And I also think he is stupid hot. But I've always been a girl person. Like I was big into Britney. I was big into Christina. Not really Backstreet Boys. Not really NSYNC. I mean, I liked the music, but it was just, I wasn't like a super fan. You know what I mean? Like the posters that I had in my room were, I'm just thinking throughout my life. When I was very young, elementary school and then middle school, various posters of Mary-Kate and Ashley. When I was in high school, I mean, I never did in high school. The only thing I ever tried was smoking pot, but otherwise I never did any other drugs. Never have in my life done any other drugs. And I had a like this real artsy fartsy 60s looking mushroom poster because I was just obsessed with like hippie culture, and like I thought, oh, it would have been so cool if I could have gone to Woodstock. Like, you know, I just thought it was like cool. It was just cool, and I would like burn incense and like, you know what I mean? I was like LARPing as like some kind of like druggy hippie pothead, but I wasn't. But I had a mushroom poster, and then I had Amy Winehouse when I was in high school. That was it. There were no like hot shirtless guys or anything like that. I don't even know, why am I talking about this? What was I talking about? Oh, yes. I'm not a Jonas Brothers apologist. So, like, don't, like, look at this as, like, oh, she's, like, you know, shilling for Joe or shilling for Sophie. First of all, I've never seen Game of Thrones. I couldn't get through the first episode. I hated it. It's just not my type of show. Anything that is like a period piece, and I know that Game of Thrones isn't like a period piece. It's really like an incest piece, but that is just not my flavor. Now I like a true crime incest piece. I'm getting too in the weeds. I'm getting myself in trouble. I'm not into Game of Thrones, and I'm not into the Jonas Brothers. So basically, I'm an unbiased party that is just a pop culture fan that's just, you know, just telling you the facts and just giving you my take. So that's the beauty of this live, is I feel like I'm a good unbiased person on this story. Anyway, so everything coming out paints Sophie Turner as this guilty person. All of these articles in the last 2 days, you know, show her to be this unfit mother who wants to party. She's farting on Ring doorbell cameras. And whether she's guilty or not, her PR team really needs to step it up, because her public image is drowning right now. Like, the fact that like everything is coming out and it's just all that we know is that they have this like joint statement together, but otherwise it's like radio silence and every single article is slamming her. Like, what? Like, hello? Go ahead. Go ahead and play. No. Play the clip, the last clip that we just had.
I don't do cocaine.
He doesn't even know what it looks like.
I don't know what it looks like.
Yeah, that's Sophie. See? She's never done cocaine. She doesn't know what it looks like. I liked this. And this is what I feel people are going to discover. And right now, everything's pretty anti-Sophie. I think it's going to become anti-Joe here real quick. Because in 2022, Sophie Turner did a podcast interview with Unwrapped, the show called Unwrapped. And she gushed about loving motherhood, loving being a mom. She said, I feel like the empathy and the concept of family has made me entirely a much more emotional person. The empathy is heightened. The feelings about family are just like overflowing. She added that motherhood has refined her acting chops. It's made me a better actor becoming a mother, because as an actor, the only way to become a real brilliant actor is to experience as much life as possible and to bring those experiences in. So this is just another little part of life that I'm experiencing that I get to bring in, and hopefully it helps my performance one way or another. I mean, does this sound like somebody who would all of a sudden, this is literally last year. Last year, she gushed about motherhood and said that it's made me a more emotional person. It's made me a better person. I'm a better actress because of it. But here, it gets even crazier. She talked about caring for the kids while Joe is on tour. Because at the time of this interview, were they on another tour in 2022? From the interview, it looks like there was somebody that is a Jonas Brothers fan, correct me. 2022, there was a Jonas Brothers tour. And she said, I couldn't not go home to my daughter at the end of the day because Joe's job is bouncing around from city to city every night. And I have a longer amount of time in one place due to my job. So it makes sense for me to have their daughter with me. Again, last year. How can a mom who's like, because my husband travels so much for work, I'm making sure that I don't, because it's important to me to be home with my kids for them to have a parent with them. So now you're telling me that this woman just said, bye. It's time for lemon drops. So, Joe gets the kids. Absolutely not. Hannah says, do you think that they are getting a divorce just to get attention? No. Brittany says they were on tour, I think, Las Vegas. Why did I just say Las Vegas? Las Vegas. Peachy says the math is not mathing. 600 people here at one. Is this a record at least once in a live? Good. Tell everybody in the Cute Conservatives Facebook group, Gay Mama, proof Sophie Turner farted on the Ring doorbell camera immediately. Immediately. Just be like, you guys are missing this. Like, blow it up, blow it up, blow it up. Put it on your stories. I just refuse to believe there is something going on. And here's what's weird about this couple. Literally no one knows what their how we met story even is, I believe. Because everything from their meeting to their engagement, everything has been secret. I wish I had a sound effect for like secret, like magic sound. Everything has been a secret. Everyone knows, and all everyone knows, is that they eloped in Vegas. But even that was very, very hush-hush. And then they had like a secret wedding afterwards, another very hush-hush thing in like a private reception. So if you know, tell me a little bit about their origin story. Because as far as what I know, that's all we know. Am I missing something? Am I forgetting something? Tell me so that I can read it. Are they an industry-planted couple? I don't think, if anyone is industry planted, and I'm going to get to this, but if anyone is industry planted, and I don't even know if I would say that, but the only couple that I think is real shady and something isn't right there is Nick and Priyanka. That's weird. That's a weird, and I'm going to get into that. But that's strange. But I mean, Sophie and Joe, I feel like, I mean, right, everybody really liked them together. Like, this is very shocking. It's very sad for people. Chow said, yeah, they had a second wedding in Europe, I think. Emily says, it all seems so sudden. Maybe she cheated and he saw on the Ring camera. I'm telling you it was a fart. Telling you. I also want to mention that we don't know anything about their daughters. They have 2 daughters, but the public only knows one name, Willa, I think. The other one is a mystery. It could be a worm. There are no pictures of their kids. It's all been extremely private. I believe one of them accidentally once like posted their kids on their story and then made an apology like, we're so sorry, please don't screenshot and share our kids. Like, it was totally an accident and we want to keep that private. You know, it's respectful. I'm not hating them. I'm just saying it as a fact that they're very private. Now, 2 interesting tour situations have happened. Right now, the Jonas Brothers are on a tour literally called The Tour. Now, wait. Their album right now is literally called The Album. It's funny. And it reminds me when I was growing up. So I grew up in this southern Indiana town right outside of Louisville, Kentucky. I say that I grew up in Louisville because it was like literally 10 minutes away. And that's like, you know, where everybody did everything. Like, that's where we went to the mall and et cetera. But I grew up in southern Indiana and there was this little restaurant where I grew up. One of my best friends worked there in high school and it was called A Nice Restaurant. So see, it was funny because then every single time, like if you were going to go eat there, you'd be like, where's dad going? Oh, a nice restaurant. Okay, but where? A nice restaurant. No, but what nice restaurant? He's going to a nice restaurant. I know, you already said that. It's like a who's on third, who's on what, you know, whatever that bit is. It's like that. And then whenever my second radio job in Indianapolis, my station was right by a place called The Living Room. It was like a bar called The Living Room. So then you tell people like, where are you going tonight? Oh, I'm going to the living room. Okay, but like, where are you going out? I'm going to the living room. Stop! You know what I mean? It's like one of those situations. It's funny. So the tour is called The Tour. So it's just kind of odd. And then the new album is called The Album. And 2 juicy things. Joe Jonas has cried or gotten emotional, if you want to call it that, twice on stage recently on the tour. One is during the song Little Bird, which is a song about all the guys' daughters, you know, basically them growing up and then their daughters not needing their dads anymore. And Joe was like sobbing one night in the middle of the song. Got a clip of this. As somebody who does not know anything about the Jonas Brothers or any of their songs, in fact, one of my best friends, Sydney, is the biggest Jonas Brothers fan I've ever met. Like, I mean, I'm pretty sure she has, like, opted to get DNA from one of the brothers, like, injected into her veins. She has gone to, like, 400 tour stops. It's kind of scary. She scares me. Anyway, we were in the car once, and she was playing a Jonas Brothers song, and I said, "Is this Maroon 5?" So I don't know anything about the Jonas Brothers music, but that little clip, that song is precious. And so I'm going to have to download that one. It's called Little Bird, all about their daughters growing up and not needing their dads anymore. So that's cute. Maybe, worth reading the full lyrics. And then here's another moment on the tour that was real juicy. So he almost cried a few days ago after singing the song Hesitate, which he wrote for Sophie Turner, I'm hearing. It was on the Happiness Begins album. And you can see him here in this clip trying not to get emotional after singing the song. So are the clips too quiet? We keep having this problem. It's like, to us, it sounds really loud, but it's like not as loud for you. So, okay. Do we need to play them both again? Should we play Little Bird again louder, you think? All right, let's just play the clip of this Little Bird song one more time. They said they can't hear, so let's play it one more time, a little louder. All right, and then let's play one more time the Joe Jonas Trying Not to Cry after Hesitate. I've never thought the Jonas Brothers were hot either. Controversial maybe, but I just don't think any of them are hot, except right there, Joe Jonas looked pretty freaking good. He looks hot in that clip. Some are wondering if the other brothers are going to say anything about this divorce. They will say absolutely nothing. This is my prediction. They're not going to say anything. These guys have not done individual interviews in years, and if they do, it's, very BS PR questions. They're really, really private. If we get any tea on this family at all, it's usually from one of Danielle's sisters that makes a comment like 10 months later in passing, and that's how you get an answer. Danielle is the wife to Kevin, and she's got a bunch of big mouth sisters. And Priyanka, who is married to Nick, she knows better at this point. She knows the fame machine enough. She's a celebrity in her own right. She's not going to let anything slip. I think Danielle and Kevin are the most stable marriage in the family. I think that would really destroy people if they got divorced. I think people figured Nick and Priyanka would divorce the first out of all of the siblings because there's rumors that they're just beards for each other. Put some bacon on it. The tour is a world tour, so this is going to go into 2024. I'm wrapping up here. There are rumors that they're going to have another U.S. lap at the end, but nothing formally has been announced yet. They're going to go back to Japan and Australia and then most of Europe for the first time in years on this tour. So if you're European conservative, I don't think we have much or many, but if you are, yay for you. Here's my whole summary and my whole situation on this. Something fishy is going on. Why is all of the tea that is coming out a direct contradiction to everything that we've historically known about this couple? Like, why is every article out the gate painting Sophie Turner as like this deadbeat mom when everything we know about them, it's not the case at all? And if anything, he is not home as much as she is. The fact that everything coming out is so negative on Sophie really makes me think that the real juice is really bad, and it's a bad look for Mr. Jonas. Jonas. So are you team Queen of the North or team Joe Bro? Personally, my nose always runs. Like, it's literally just every time I do these lives, my nose hurts. It doesn't run all day. And then when I'm in this, I don't know what it is. But, Joe Jonas, yeah. So team Queen of the North or team Joe Bro, you can put that in the chat. I can't say Jonas without thinking of the movie Twister. Jonas, he's in it for the money, not the twisters. TikTok. There is a woman who has gone viral this week talking about being unmarried and childless at 29, and she is getting absolutely roasted by the conservative right. Let's watch the video in question.
It's 10:45 a.m. on a Saturday. I am 29 and single, and I don't have kids yet. Here's what your Saturday morning looks like when you're single at 29 and you don't have a kid running around the house. I didn't rise from my bed until 10:15. Every time I thought, I should probably get up and do something. I thought, why? Nobody's making me. I'm not missing out on anything. I went to Beyonce last night, and I didn't get home until 1 a.m. And I danced and drank my little heart out, and I didn't pay a babysitter to watch my kids as I did that. And I woke up a tad hungover this morning, which is probably why I was in bed for so long. And I was just scrolling on my phone, and I saw a picture of shakshuka, and I thought, you know what sounds really good? Maybe I'm gonna learn how to make shakshuka today. Because I have no plans, and I don't have kids, and I don't have a husband, and I don't have errands to run. I can go to the grocery store and learn how to make shakshuka. So that's on my agenda today. Also on my agenda, probably a rewatch of some Real Housewives of New York. I'm also doing a rewatch of Normal People on Hulu, which is really spicy and I highly recommend. Weirdly, I'm into this documentary on Netflix about blue zone countries. So I've got a pretty stacked day. Anyway, I say all this to say, whenever I'm hard on myself about why I'm not married and I don't have kids and I should be further along at 29, almost 30, I wouldn't want to do anything else this Saturday. And I know that you can do all these things when you have kids and you're married, and I understand, but the effortlessness and ease of my life, just kind of focusing on myself and the shakshuka I want to make or the Beyonce concert I want to go to, really pays off when I'm hard on myself for not being where society tells me I should be in life.
Mike Cernovich, if you know who Cerno is, one of my most favorite people ever in like the entire world, and favorite follows on Twitter. He's been a guest on the Spillover before. He told his story about doing ayahuasca and how it changed his life, and he's like a big fan of psychedelics or whatever. But Cerno always has, I think, the freshest takes on any breaking news or story. And when this clip went viral, he commented, "This is the female equivalent of a barstool sports person," which I thought was hysterical and totally apt. I don't really know how to explain it. Like, it just, you either get what that means or you don't. I'm not going to spend time on that, but that's just, it's very funny. All right, so I'm going to translate what she said. And I think that I can speak on this in a really good way because I am conservative. And I am 30 and I'm unmarried and I don't have kids. I want all of those things very, very badly. And I'm very excited for that chapter in my life if it's God's will for that to happen. But it hasn't yet. So she has a little bit of a different take on this than I do, because from her, if I'm translating what she said, she is saying, I'm glad that I don't have kids or a husband because I want to be lazy, I want to be unproductive, and I want to be hedonistic. When society teaches you that your individual wants and needs are the highest goal that you can achieve, then you're going to live your life like this. And there are defenders also on the right, a few, mostly women, who are coming out of the woodwork and being like, okay, you guys, like, this is so mean. Everybody really, really hates what Matt Walsh had to say about her. Everybody's like, you're being so mean. She clearly wants desperately to be to be a wife and a mom. It just hasn't happened for her yet, so she's doing the best that she can. No, she wasn't. That's not doing the best that you can do. She is, in that video, putting down the responsibilities of marriage and motherhood. She clearly views it as a massive inconvenience, a drag on life. She's talking about it in an overall just like negative way compared to living a very self-centered life that she lives. Now, here's what's interesting. My Saturdays, sometimes, not always, which I'm going to get into, my Saturdays as a single woman, basically the same age as her, look very similarly to hers. Now, what I don't do, I'm not going to say I never or haven't ever, but I would say very rarely. I don't even remember the last time I was hungover. I don't like going to clubs. I don't remember the last time I've been to a club. Bars once in a while, maybe like, I wouldn't even say once a month, maybe once every 2 or 3 months, I go out with friends to the bars. Most of the time, I'm a sleut, and I'm saying that in the non-sexual way. I'm a sleut for happy hour. I love me some appetizers. I'm a cocktail girly. I'm not a wine girl. I'm not a beer girl. I am a cocktail squirrel through and through. Cocktail squirrel all day, all night, every afternoon, brunch, whatever. I love a good cocktail. But I'm not like absolutely getting like brownout or blackout drunk. I don't even remember the last time that ever happened to me. Like it's literally been that long. I mean, I know my limit. I'm good on 2 or 3 drinks usually, and then like fine to go home. And then I do go home, and I am always sleeping in my own bed. And then I'm getting up and I'm, doing something with my life in the morning. So I'm not doing that. I think talking about life like, well, my life is so much better because I can sleep in, be hungover, be unproductive, like do nothing. Here's the thing that makes it's either like, are you living a moral or immoral single life? Is your single season immoral or is it moral? And I don't know, is immoral, moral like the right way to phrase this? Basically, what are you doing with your time? How are you stewarding your time? Are you in your single season using your gifts that God gave you to help others in your community, to better yourself? Like, let me tell you about my single season, okay? And I'm very proud of myself for this because, and I'm not going to say it never happens because it does happen sometimes, where you just stay in bed all day and you cry and you're sad. But for the most part, I am trying my absolute damnedest to do something positive for somebody else or for kids when I don't have my own. So the way that she talks about kids as being a burden, whatever, I'm like, okay, well, what are you doing to help people then? If it's so bad, if you think it's such a drag to have kids, what are you doing to help those people out? Because I'm using some of my Saturdays or Sundays to volunteer with kids in the foster care system. I learned how to cook. I did not know how to cook anything until the pandemic. Never did not cook at all. Taught myself how to cook and bake. I love to read. I'm reading, yes, I love fiction. I love true crime stuff, but I also love parenting books and health books. I've really taken pride in kind of getting my act together when it comes to health. Now, fitness, that's another story. We're still getting there. Somebody's still got to work on me in that front. That is not I hate physical activity. I hate running. I hate working out. I don't like doing that, but I am really, really trying in the food front. So it's like, what skills are you learning or whatever? I found a new church. That's a goal for me this fall, is trying to, first of all, pick and finalize what church I want to become a member in, but then also joining small group or joining Bible studies in that church, trying to get really plugged in with a sense of community in church. So these are all the things. I am in the same season as her. But I'm not getting on and bragging about sleeping in because I don't have kids. Here's the situation. I just spent an entire weekend with one of my best friends who has 3 kids, all under 6. I see the highs and lows of having little kids like that. I see the highs and lows of parenting. I have a couple single friends. Majority of my very, very close friends are married with multiple kids. at least 3 kids. So I see that you always think the grass is greener, right? You think that your single life is so great. Like, I don't think you're going to be, you're 29 right now, but come back to us when you're 39. Then come back to us when you're 46 and you're still single and have no kids. And God forbid that is what happens to me. I don't know. But I do know that if I don't have my own kids to pour into, then I believe my calling as a single woman is to do that with other kids that are in my like direct community. So whether that's through charity programs or whatever, like Child Advocates CASA, which is what I do, or if it's, volunteering in the nursery at your church, or even just like something nice, like volunteering to babysit friends' kids for them so they have a break. Like, we should be doing things like that as women that are single. And also, I want to say this. I think it is a red flag. I have to be careful how I say this. I think it is a red flag if you are a woman who feels no calling to work with, shepherd, mentor, or care for kids at all. Like, at all. Even if you choose, and I disagree with it. If you choose to not have kids, and I'm not talking about women that have fertility issues that can't, and it's out of their control. I am saying if you choose to not have kids, what are you doing for the kids in your community, in your neighborhood? I think there's something real selfish going on, and it's very odd, and I think that there's something that maybe needs to get looked at inside of you. I think there's a lot of narcissism there and a lot of selfishness to not willingly want to serve others as a biological woman. I believe that is an innate biological thing as women to want to nurture and care and serve somebody else. So if it's not our husband, if it's not our own kids, who are you doing that for in the community? And maybe that's the homeless. Maybe it's not like a literal child, but like, who are you serving in your season of singleness? Because if you're only serving yourself, that is going to come back void. We were called to do more. And now I'm on a soapbox. Sorry. I'm on a soapbox. But if all you say at the end of your life is, I went, I had a high-paying job, I went to work 9 to 5, I binged Netflix on the weekends, I was hungover, and I got to sleep in, that doesn't sound like a carefree, happy life to me. It makes me emotional. It's depressing, and it's dark. And the fact that so many people lie to single women and act like that is somehow virtuous or admirable, or they tell them, oh, I wish that was my life. I know your life might be hard as a mom. Like I said, I got to witness like firsthand, like trying to discipline and wrangle 3 kids and all this kind of stuff with my friend over the weekend. I understand that's hard, but you know that even on those hard days, like what you're doing matters. Like sleeping in, hungover, and watching Netflix doesn't matter. I'm not saying you can't do those things. You can't, sleep in once in a while or watch Netflix, that it's like evil or somehow bad to do. But like, if that's all your life consists of every weekend, I don't know, man. I have to move on. It's empty. Makes me sad. I'm depressed. Let's move on. Is gay Obama next? No, Burning Man is next. I don't want to spend a lot of time on Burning Man because I don't really care. But what do you know about Burning Man? Burning Man, aka Ebola Man, because I guess that's kind of what happened this weekend. So it's like a festival. I don't even know. Festival is like a little bit generous of a word. They create a makeshift town in Black Rock. Is it Black Rock, Nevada? Yeah, Black Rock City, Nevada. And allegedly the event is owned by Google and BlackRock. There's a video a girl made of this. It's really good.
Why did Google and BlackRock spend $1.2 billion to acquire Burning Man? Music is one of the primary programming tools of our generation. Propaganda through lyrics and frequency. Think about it. Burning Man is a massive congregation of people who enter altered states of consciousness and therefore are more receptive to being programmed. It truly is a recipe for social engineering, almost like a testing ground. We are living in a corporatocracy. We only really have the illusion of choice. The same people who bought Burning Man also control the media and then create the culture to then sell all of their products to. They own it all. The purpose of the event may have once been about self-expression and rejecting capitalism. The festival, as we know it today, has been overrun by corporate interests. And do you really believe that these people have our best interests at heart? The media recently highlighting Burning Man seems a little bit suspicious. Can we zoom out? What are the messages being telegraphed to the masses? Fear, viral outbreaks, weather manipulation, climate emergencies, lockdowns. Are they priming us for something? And within the festival, they really reinforce the idea that you can be free, truly free at Burning Man, implying that once you come back into our society, you are not.
I don't like it. The vibes are off. People like this. The vibes are off for me. Festival, it's not really a festival. It's like a makeshift town. The elites who attend, or the burners, as they like to call them, and then I guess they call them virgin burners if it's your first year going, they create a little commune. And I'm pretty sure clothing is basically optional. In the way that you get things that you need, like food or items or whatever, toiletries and stuff, don't you have to trade? That's what she's talking about, how it's like supposed to be this anti-capitalism thing. Like, you don't buy things there. I'm pretty sure you have to trade goods. So you better bring something like a soap or something that people are going to want at this thing. Now, I'm just literally pulling up the Wikipedia to kind of look at this. So Wikipedia says Burning Man, it's a week-long, right here, week-long, large-scale desert campout focused on community art, self-expression, and self-reliance. I would rather die. Very odd. It's giving like really weird, like sacrificial, creepy cult vibes. Just everything about it I don't like. They're all about like cleaning up after yourself, leave no trace, radical self-expression, communal effort, radical self-reliance, blah, blah, blah. Now, it's not like a music festival. It's not like a Coachella. There's no headliners. There's no scheduled performances. Instead, the people that go, I guess, just kind of like decide on a whim. I want to perform for you. I want to build a sculpture for you. I mean, again, this is all so Vom-worthy to me. I couldn't be more bored. Really, it's just an excuse to party in the desert and have like a big sand orgy is what I've heard. Now, let me just skip ahead here. This year was interesting because there was like a huge it was like a fire festival situation. And they had like flooding, and they're in the middle of this just dust bowl. So the fact that it poured down rain for days and days and days, the whole thing was flooded. People were trapped there. You couldn't get vehicles in or out of the location. Organizers arranged for there to be like a little radio frequency. It was like a survival guide, and they had this they told you like, tune into this radio station and we're going to give updates. I mean, it sounds like very much like if you're stranded on a ship in the middle of the sea and then you turn on the radio to like get updates of, when help is coming. Like, it's really dark, really scary. And the people that were there were told, hey, start, conserving food, water, fuel, find like a warm place. But they were running out of drugs. And then, real quick, I think everybody realized, oh, this isn't very fun, being in a mud swamp, sober, with nothing and no one. And it sucks. And they were trapped. Are there people still trapped there? Like, the whole thing has been a mess this year. Now, there has been some scary instances, and I just want to tell you about my favorite, and then we're moving on. But my favorite, I say it's very sad, but the most interesting anecdote and survival story, I should say, to come out of Burning Man this year was this woman. This woman told the story on TikTok. She actually had to sleep through the night at one point with no house music bumping. Can you imagine? Truly terrifying. Just unfathomable, really. Unfathomable. No house music bumping, she said. Look at her. Look how distressed, dirty. sad. Just, it was really the end for these people. Okay, Obama is gay. Do we care? Do we care? Thumbs up the video, by the way, if you haven't yet. Thank you so much for being on this live. We do this every single Wednesday at the same time. Oh, God. Do we care about Obama? I would like the chat to tell me, because I'm going to tell you what I think. I'm going to tell you what I think here. And I think it's going to surprise a lot of you. I don't think it's what people expect from a conservative. Obama, gay? Why are you gay? Obama, Michael, are you a homosexual? Thumbs up the video and subscribe if you haven't yet. Real X Clark. The Tucker interview with a man named Larry Sinclair, who lives in Mexico, claims to have smoked crack and bottomed it out with Barack Obama. That interview is now out. Here is a trailer of the interview.
You're just a guy who's in town for the night, and it sounds like you're looking to party.
Yeah. Pulled up in a bar outside, and there's this guy that's introduced to me as Barack Obama. I had given Barack $250 to pay for coke. I start putting a line on a CD tray to snort, and next thing I know, he's got a little pipe and he's smoking. So I just started rubbing my hand along his thigh to see where it was going, and it went the direction I had intended it to go.
Even though you had sex with him twice, you did cocaine with him, watched him smoke crack twice, you had no idea who he was.
I had no idea who he was.
Let me just ask the obvious question. What was Obama like on crack? Is it your sense that that's who Obama is, just transactional, or that he's bisexual, or like, what is this?
It definitely wasn't Barack's first time, and I would almost be willing to bet you it wasn't his last.
The guy's running for president, and credible information comes out that he's smoking crack and having sex with dudes. That seems like a story.
Well, it would be a story if the media really cared about telling people the truth.
Well, it would be a story if the media cared about telling people the truth. I'm sorry, but I don't believe that gay Obama, even in desperate times, would go for some toothless Hardee's manager-looking ass. Crabs. I just, like, Barack Obama, maybe he is gay. He probably is. But that's who he's hooking up with? Does this guy have any physical or material evidence that this happened? Like, I need video. I need a photo of them together. Like, our star witness to telling us that Barack Obama is gay is a crackhead with missing teeth. All we have are vibes. Is there no evidence? Do we think that it's worth looking at this with just one grain of salt? Jussie Smollett. Gay Obama? Jussie. Now, I haven't watched the interview, so I don't know, because it just came out right before we started this live. For all I know, Tucker has a manila folder that he whips out, and, you know, out comes a little, like, a rainbow lace thong or something like that with Obama's DNA. I don't know. I haven't heard of anything. I haven't seen anything. Now, I guess this guy passed a polygraph. He passed a polygraph test, allegedly, but, like, guys. I think everybody falls into three camps when it comes to this Obama gay story. Gay bomber. Gay bomber. Number one, you fall into three camps when it comes to the gay Obama story. Number one, you believe that Obama had gay sex, but that this particular guy is making it up for clout. Two, you believe the guy and you think he had a night in heaven with Barack Hussein. My night in heaven with gay Obama. 3, you think Obama is straight as an arrow. You think that this is all crazy, conservative, boomer, conspiracy territory. I'm a little bit of both. I believe that Obama might be bisexual. But I also believe that even enjoying this story is crazy boomer conspiracy territory. This story is so, it's like it makes the boomers salivate. I'm sorry if you're a boomer, but like this is the kind of stuff that like gets my parents going. And I'm just like, I don't care at all. And I don't like Obama, and I've never voted for him. And, you know, whatever. But I just, do we care about this in 2020? Like, why do we care about this? We have an election coming up. He's not involved. He's not running. He's not currently in office. They're bringing mask mandates back, allegedly, at least in several places. I just saw another school, I believe in Maryland this week. Now they're saying mask mandates are back. So we have all of this stuff going on. And why are we focusing as conservatives on is Obama a top or a bottom? Am I missing something? Who cares? They're like, well, this is what the boomers are saying. Well, this matters, Alex Clark, because it means Obama lied to us. If this was a lie, what? Everything was a lie. Of course he lied. What do you mean every president lies? This is so dumb. We care because it means he's a liar. You can, what is it? You can keep your doctor or whatever. We know he's a liar. He's not from Hawaii. We know he's a liar. Now, there's also this option. Gay. Wow, you gay. Is Obama just super into weird lib, artsy indie chicks, and so he just did some gay stuff to get with the indie girls? Because we all know a guy like this. You know what I mean? Like into like the Janice Ian types. And if you wanted to get with Janice Ian and Mean Girls, who are you gonna get to get through to her? Damien. Too gay to function Damien. Hello? Is Obama one of these people? He was just willing to do what it took to get to that artsy, crunchy, barista, greasy-haired, girl. Maybe Michelle was his safe option. If Barack Obama was really into like the barista, crunchy granola, libby chicks, but like Michelle was into him, maybe he was like, okay, well, I do want to be a politician. Michelle is like clearly a safe, more palatable option for the public. Like they're going to get on board with her more than this type of person. So maybe he marries Michelle while secretly lusting after like the Phoebe Bridgers types, if that makes sense. Michael. Now, this is something I always write notes for the live, the day of, and then the night before. I write little notes for myself so I can sort of keep us on a roll. Also, it is, we've hit our hour mark, so I'm wrapping up. Don't worry. But I wrote something while I was on Ambien, and I want you to translate this for me. This is what I wrote about Gay Obama. Is it true simply because it's funny or because it is? Is it true simply because it's funny or because it is? Now, I wrote that when I was on Ambien last night. So what did Ambien Alex mean? Very cryptic. I don't know, but it's provocative. I think it should be an inspirational poster in a school cafeteria. Is it true simply because it's funny or because it is? Gay Obama. Now, obviously, I am the biggest Tucker Carlson simp of them all. I have a framed photograph of him on my desk. But I have to say, even as the biggest Tucker apologist, some of these interviews that he's done or episodes or whatever are a little bit cringe. It's a little tabloidy. It's a little lowbrow for him. This is my interpretation. I might be in the minority. I'm fine with accepting that. But it's just the UFOs, gay bomber. It feels so boomer bait and cringe to me. And part of me wants to just let go. Part of me wants to just trust him because he is my Tucker baby. But part of me also wonders if the editorial control that Fox News had on him was good for him. And look, you have to know, there are things that I come to the drawing board with on my team and they just smile and nod and walk away. And I know they're cursing me under their breath because they're like, this is the worst idea of all time. But see, Tucker doesn't have those people now. He's on his own. This is the wild Tucker West. And if he wants to do gay Obama getting pegged on a UFO, by golly, he can do it. There's nobody to stop him. I don't like it. My grandparents love it. My parents love it. My parents are older Gen X. So my grandparents are boomers. My parents are older Gen X. And they're just eating this up like crab soup. But again, the Hardee's toothless manager is who our witness is. And I just even if Barack Obama is gay, that is not who I would think is his type. Right? Although I guess if you are on crack, like this guy alleges, if Barack Obama is on crack, I mean, maybe then, in the crack haze, that guy looks like, that guy looks like, God, Joe Alwyn. I don't know. I'm done. Are you going to watch this? Gay Obama? Are you going to watch this? Why are you gay? I'm not. I don't care about it. I think it's boring. I think it's cringe. I think it's weird. I think it's a waste of everybody's time. I think there's better things to talk about. Okay. Now let's wrap up. I have something juicy. I just want to say gay mama all day. Why are you gay? I'm a homosexual, Michael. There was a human skull found in a Goodwill near my house today. A human skull was found at Goodwill in Phoenix. They found a human frickin' head, bone only, in a Goodwill. And they took it to the police. They confirmed that it is a human skull. And then they said, but the thing is that and at first, this is the only information they released on local news today was that there was a human skull found at Goodwill, and they didn't give us anything else. They didn't say, is it a child-sized skull? Is it an adult-sized skull? And I texted this story, I'm not kidding you, at least 8 different people, various group chats I'm in, and I said, why wasn't it me? Not that I want to be the dead skull. I want to find it. It is my dream to solve a cold case. If I got my hands on a human skull in a box, in a trinket box at Goodwill, do you understand? That is hitting the lottery for me. Hitting the lottery. To be the one to go to the police and say, I have a skull. Sign me up. I want to be in court. I want to talk about finding it. I want to talk about how I found it. I want to drive around with you. I want to do little ride-alongs, and I want to look at some possible locations. I want to go to the library and pull out a dusty book, blow the dust off. I want to comb through newspaper articles of the last 40, 50 years. Look for missing people. This is talking about what my dream weekend is as a single, unmarried, childless 30-year-old woman. This is it. So when they tell me that they're finding skulls at the Goodwills around my house, I was about to head there right after this live. See what I could find. Is it a box of Halloween decorations? Is it real? Let's test it out. So after 2 hours, they do a follow-up article, they did confirm it was a human skull, but then they said, but it's a historical human skull. They don't believe that it was any foul play or like a murder or anything like that. And I'm like, is it bad to wish for murder? I don't wish it actively on anybody, but I wanted there to be a murder that happened that we could be like, wow, we solved it all these years later. It was so, what a bummer. So I don't know what a historical human skull means. What does that even mean? They wore a beret? I don't understand what, like, it's like a head that was like from a museum. Like, where's the rest of the body? What, like, if it is like from some kind of museum or something, it's a historical skull. Is it like an important historical figure? Where's the rest of the bones? How did this person get it? Did they accidentally drop it off at Goodwill, or like, was it on purpose? They wanted to freak people out like me. They wanted to get people like me riled up. I don't appreciate it for getting me excited like this and then letting me down. Spillover is tomorrow. Spillover hint, spillover hint. I'm a little lad with a spillover hint. Thumbs up this video, subscribe to this channel. Spillover tomorrow, this week. It is a tragic story of, I don't understand what hold on. In the chat, it's all squirrels and cocktails. Cocktail squirrel, she's a little bit of cocktail squirrel, living in a cocktail world. She's a little bitty cocktail squirrel. I don't get it. Why did I say that? Earlier? We're just bringing this back from earlier when I said I'm a cocktail squirrel? Oh, it's a callback. So nice. Spam in the chat with the cocktail squirrels, cocktail squirrels. Cocktail squirrels unite! Mezcal. Ooh, it is a new sticker. We should bring this up because I have that sticker pack coming out. By the way, thanks a lot for everybody hating on my, I got that dog in me and it was a sad dog and everybody voted that they wanted that sticker axed out of the chat. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it all happened in the Cute Servitus Facebook group. If you're not in that Facebook group after 4 years, I don't know what to tell you. Just, you're a loser. The fact that you are still sleeping on this group, it is the #1 group on Facebook, and like things happen in there that don't happen other places. And then when I mention it in this live, if you don't know what I'm talking about, see, it's very hard for me. Like I need everybody to be following everything and keeping up with everything so that like we're all on the same page. That would be easy. Anyway, I got that dog in me. Now I got a cocktail squirrel in me. All right, now we're moving on to spillover tomorrow. Spillover tomorrow. I'm a little lad with a spillover hint. The spillover tomorrow. Now look what you guys have done. Now we just went off on the very, very silly Billy tangent. And this is like a really horrific, tragic, awful nightmare of a story. Now this is very awkward. Okay, it is about it's a very tragic true story of a parent who is currently fighting for their child's life because their ex is trying to transition them. And people are so ignorant. They think that this isn't happening. They think that this is like a right-wing conspiracy theory that people are trying to transition kids and all this kind of stuff. No. It is a real thing. We have several states that exist that call themselves sanctuary states for kids that want to be able to transition without parental consent. This person's ex is trying to transition their child without their consent. They believe that the child is not the gender that this other parent says that they are. And it's this whole mess. And it's very, very scary and very, very sad. So that is going on the spillover this week. And that new episode will drop on the Real Alex Clark YouTube. It'll come out anywhere you get your podcasts. That always drops midnight Eastern on Thursdays, 9 p.m. Pacific. Or, technically Friday if you're nasty, but it's midnight. I say midnight on Thursday, but it's technically Friday. Do not go anywhere without thumbsing up this video. Subscribe to Real Alex Clark on YouTube if you're not. Subscribe to Real Alex Clark on podcast apps. So we did do a little name change. It was called POPlitics, but again, we're doing this thing where I'm renaming things because it doesn't make any sense. Like do you understand? To call the landing page that houses a bunch of different types of content POPlitics, it's not accurate because POPlitics is this. What we're doing now is POPlitics, but I do a lot of other videos and a lot of other things. And so to call the page POPlitics where there's videos that aren't POPlitics doesn't make sense. So we're calling the channel Real Alex Clark on YouTube and anywhere you get your podcasts. And then the POPlitics lives will live on those places. You can listen to the audio version. You can watch. I always recommend that you watch because look how much fun we have. Look how much fun we have today. And it is. Jeanette says the replay is good, but this live energy is better. And that's the goal. You want to get as much people here in the live as possible because it's in the moment. It's cooking in the moment. What you and I are doing, we're cooking in the moment. We're making cocktails and we're doing that in the moment. And there's just an energy and it's a vibe to be here in the moment. So really, I understand people have things going on, but I also can't forgive you. And so you need to do what you need to do to watch live. I'm winking. I'm winking. I'm winking. I understand. But like, it is cool if you can try to make a plan, put it in your calendar, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, every single Wednesday to be here. Now, if there's ever a Wednesday that I won't make it, I will let you know. I will post on our stories and I will tell you, hey, I'm sick. My boyfriend broke up with me. I'm getting a divorce because I farted on a Ring doorbell camera. Like, I will let you know. But otherwise, plan on putting in your calendar an alarm. 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern on Wednesdays is POPlitics Live on the Real Alex Clark YouTube. Share this to your story. Share this share it in the Cute Conservatives Facebook group, or you don't even have to share the link, but just make a post. Tell them, gay bomb. Tell them human skulls were found near Alex. There's a lot that you can tell them. Tell them that Sophie Turner that Joe Jonas divorced Sophie Turner because she farted on their Ring doorbell camera. Like, say all of that stuff. Even if you don't link it, just say it. They will come. You build it, they will come. You fart on a porch, they will come. I will see you next Wednesday at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. It is Pop Culture Without the Propaganda. I'm Alex Clark, and this is POPlitics.